Well, hello again. This is Peter from Spiritual Therapies with Peter and Anna Cola. I am back reporting live from the ringside of the Nino and 107 battle that occurred yesterday late and is being aired today. But before I get started with that news report, I do some sports commentary on the side, along with my spiritual therapies, which you people may have seen me with others, with David, with Nicholas Veneman, and with some others, soon to be speaking with other known truthers. Before I get started, I'd like to bring to the attention that we do not monetize on this. We do provide a lot of therapies for people. Most of those are for free. So the only way we can make any money with our to support this program is through the sale of our books. I've written a couple books. One is called Heal Yourself for God's Sake. Let's see if I can get this thing to not be so shit. There you go. Heal Yourself for God's Sake. This is basically a tabulation of about 10 years of applying spiritual truths, godly procedures, and natural treatments into the therapeutic scenario, and then seeing what effect it has, basically seeing almost miraculous type occurrences, people getting better, because we were touching on the causes and not just the symptoms when it came to treatment. I am a medical professional. I have been treating for 35 years. I have my own practice in Phoenix. I have run programs, started programs for people, major corporations, and I have treated literally thousands of patients from every ailment, from amputation to Zika virus, all the way through. The other book I wrote was called Quantum Ascension. And what I do is, a lot of times when I don't know what to do or what to write, I'll get a particular topic and then I'll ask God, well, how does it work? You have not because you ask not. So I ask, and he tells me. So I write it down. This is basically a tabulation of how it works on a quantum basis. What happens when we ascend? How does that work? Understanding how it works, understanding what effect it has on our body, on our soul, on our spirit, on our mind, allows you then to incorporate it into yourself and then make it part of yourself. So AKA that you can ascend. There's a lot of talk about ascending these days. I'm not going to get into that in this video, maybe at the end, but for now, I'm going to jump right into it, and we are going to go with our ringside report of the 107 and Nino, the tide is turning show. Okay, back in the ring, 107 and Nino. Everybody's on their edge of their seat for this one, this action-filled event. Yes, sports fans, here we are again after many weeks of this ever seemingly continual wait for something, anything to happen with the Maga goalpost that keeps moving back, which it has, by the way, has crawled like some legless zombie that doesn't seem to want to die. Our master of disaster, our king of sting, the big Kahuna himself, David Nino Rodriguez, the Hispanic Make You Panic, the Sizzling Zapata with the boomtown right. David Nino jumps back in the ring with none other than the old Cowboy Boot himself. 107, boy, I'd like to interview that guy someday. Mr. Dodge and Weave, the cunning fox, whose cat-like evasion tactics would make even the elusive greats like the Prince Naseem Hamed, if everybody ever remembers him. Boy, I love that fighter. He was David's fighter too, but this guy was dodge and weave, man. You scratch your head and wonder when you watch old 107. He'd make old Prince Naseem think, holy mackerel. That's of course, for the few boxing enthusiasts who actually know who I'm talking about. But the evasive nature of the cunning Jacki Chan, that diversionary tactics that Juan seems to use. that we've all grown to love, hate, or maybe JFK Jr. buddy by the side of the road, Juan, did not deter the old Wham-Bam Thank You Mam Nino from trying at least a few times to land a comfortable body shot right in the old gut punch. Just trying to knock a few words out of his slippery opponent. But sorry to say, readers and viewers, the elusive Juan kept the mouthpiece snug in his own mouth, at least through the final rounds. And if you think this was going to be a quickie, maybe a 4 or 5 rounder, think again. This fight went the distance into the 30, 40 round range. Yeah. Well, let's get on to the interview. Of course, it is must-see TV. And if you missed it yesterday live, or as close to live as the big guy would dare with Fluff Tube, then you will just have to go to watch it at Nino's Corner TV like the rest of us. And then you will have to go and watch and get the full and unobstructed view of this Olympic playing event playing out before us. As for the 107 interview, I could feel for you, big brother. I mean, I really could. The frustration was on your face. I mean, it was when you were, there was a couple times that I was glad I was in the room, because I almost felt like you were going to jump up and go start slugging somebody. Your frustration was matched only by our own. I tell you, I grant you that. Early rounds, mid rounds, turn after turn, not so punchy and not so old punchy, and still light on his feet. Nino did manage to press Juan into the corner occasionally. Yeah. But the old Sly Fox swatted those big rights away with about as much ease as old Jacki Chan did when he'd catch flies with that chopstick thing he did. Okay. And managed to dance back in the middle of the ring, venturing off into another tale of some image or another that seemed to have something to do with gold posts somewhere, I guess. Maybe we're in a movie, or maybe not. And does it really matter? Well, I guess it depends if you're one of those in the ringside, or the puppet masters for that matter, or the boxing glove, or just a stool that serves no other purpose than to be sat on once in a while. Heaven forbid if you're the spit bucket, I guess. The interview had all the hype of an Olympic competition match. Yeah, we were glued to our seat, ready to listen, considering Afghanistan and this thing, the protests that are going on worldwide, and Hollywood dirtbags that seem to be flying, falling like mosquitoes from the bug zapper. The recent Mike Lindell stuff, and the obvious knowledge that the Red Racer himself, Juan, was out there, of course. Throw us a friggin' bone is the least to be expected. He was there. I mean, at least we heard he was. People reported and heard him sitting next to Lindell. So throw us a friggin' bone. Well, at least from this sports enthusiast's point of view, give us something. We, meaning my wife and I, are sitting at the edge of our seat waiting for him to answer one of King David's right hook body shots, slingshot, giant killing questions. But unfortunately, if this was an Olympic game, then it reminded me not of one of a race, but more like those guys that walk run for 25 miles. Those. I was a runner in college, NCAA class 1. Got to, run with the big boys. And is that really a race? Those guys that just kind of walk, run, for 25 miles and just going along. I'm not really sure. I mean, it's counted as a race, I guess. They wiggle their hips and bump their arms into each other as they walk along, and seemingly mile after mile bumping each other a few times. It lacks all the excitement of an action of turtles playing Monopoly, is my opinion. A person could watch one of those races, take a break, go grab a burger at the local burger bar, take a dip in the pool, and even take a nap, hardly miss anything. Just at one point in the interview, David actually looked like he was going to fall asleep. I'm not kidding you not. Sorry, Wad, but it's true. It was about at the 45-minute mark. There are a couple of, here they come around the corner again. Same walk, run, same guys bumping and walking into each other. Look at them go. Now rounding corner 450. Only 175 to go. Juan dancing around 37 rounds. Only with the schedule 45 rounder. Even my wife Anna fell asleep, and Juan's her favorite. Sorry. But the end was good. The end was good. Spoiler alert. We're almost hit 70. Oh, we got to get to 80, but we're almost hit 70. Not quite there yet, almost. I mean, I almost started crying. I like God. I like the God part, being in charge. That's good, because we know that's true. It is confusing to me, though, a little bit in the middle one. I'm going to address this one right to you, if you happen to watch. I hope you do. I love you, Guy. You are my favorite. I mean, seriously. But verifying everything that, basically talking about that Biden may not be Biden, motorcades or the lack thereof, and Biden gets to ride around in a beat up old Chevy, and well, President Trump gets to go and, it's got 30, 40 cars leading him around through to the symposium or wherever he was going. Biden's guard has muffed up old shoes and carries his own bag. Air Force One he's the only one who really gets to use it. Biden gets some repainted old junker. What they call that, Air Force 20 turd. I don't know what it is. Green screens, cars parked in front of the White House lawn, ears don't match, blank EOs that he signs. Is this a show or isn't it? All this stuff seems wrong, maybe because it is wrong. Trump really in charge? Military in charge? What are they waiting for? Who pays their salaries anyways? I guess it's not the 80 million that voted for Trump. Must be the other 10 million that voted for the other guy. It certainly isn't all the dead people that voted. They don't pay any, or the Chinese that printed those things that went through the machine. We won't mention what they're called. The watermarks that didn't appear on them. Did they pay those salaries of those military, those people that are supposedly protecting our rights? But what? Then he goes on to talk about Biden maybe being declared incompetent with an Alzheimer's 25th Amendment. Well, was he an actor or isn't he? All the evidence would appear that he's an actor. Is the actor acting like he's got Alzheimer's? Or do they need to find another actor that doesn't have Alzheimer's? It's kind of weird. Do we have to wait until the actor actually gets his act together and plays the Alzheimer role good enough for some corrupt judge somewhere to say that they're standing? Oh, now they're standing. Oh, we get ripped off. All 80 million of us get ripped off. They're not standing. But Alzheimer's, an actor. Okay, maybe they're corn too. Biden's corn. The minions are corn. Corn. Oh, wait a minute. That was the last fight. Forget about that. Trump is and always will be president. Well, round 38. That's what we're talking about. That he really is still president. Well, isn't Carter still president? Bush, Obama. So under that definition, we have 4 presidents. Well, wait a minute. Well, Clinton. Well, yeah, but did he get impeached or not? I can't really remember. Maybe you have 5 presidents. The War of the 5 Kings, the War of the 5 Presidents. So which one is the dead king? Zombie apocalypse. The most frustrating part is this seemingly pushing of the goalposts. Talking about this need to have this thing happen, this counting in Maricopa. Mike Lindell's symposium needs to come. Didn't he release all that information back in January? I remember seeing a show about that. Was I dreaming? Okay. Watch the water. It looks like some kind of Gunga Din rerun here. You know what? We are watching the water. Water's happening everywhere. Okay. So what now? Look out for this. Look out for that. I get sick of the sheeple need to wake up comment. But don't go and protest. Heaven forbid. That's what they want. Everywhere else in the world, they seem to be doing it. See, I don't know. Is it working? I don't know. Billions of people in France, England, everywhere. Because nobody reports on it except the TikTokers and their phones. So, little clips here and there. The people know 80 million people voted for Trump. And all the election was crooked. The only ones that got actually in were the crooks that stole their way in. If they didn't steal their way in this time, they stole their way in last time. We're in the whatever pre-election things. Trillions of dollars of relief. Yeah, sure, they threw us a few bones to the peasants, but who really got the majority of that money? Nobody I knew. All my friends, that anybody who was a Trump or a Trump supporter or that kind of thing, they didn't get any PPP money. The only ones that seem to get the money is the bankers and friends of the bankers, all of their cronies and all of the people that follow their BL, Ball, Lucifer, Moloch team. They get the grants. Not the rest of us. They get the millions and trillions and billions and quadrillion money given to them. And the rest of us sit around and waiting for our handout, which never comes. I didn't get my stimulus. It didn't come. The rest to pay. Yeah, because they know I'm a Trump supporter. Nobody that I knew that got anything. As a matter of fact, that last year, half my pay I didn't even get paid from my own employer. He's like, sue me. I don't care. Because he knows I help my patients get better. And he's like, I don't care. Sue me. I'm not paying. Okay. It's their game. Play their game. Yeah. It's their system. Okay. We're lucky if they pay us at all. Why would they? They don't like us. That is, as long as we do what they say. Otherwise, off goes the gas. Take your pencils, your little box, and get out of the building. Juan, I hate to say it. I love you, guy. We know what is wrong. We know we have all had our country stolen. We know they are caught. We know they have taken our children, they abuse them, torture, kill, and even eat them. We know what we want to know is, when do they pay? If you had an abuser out there, if you had a child predator running through the neighborhood, and suddenly everybody knew, they would go out and they would get the guy and they would bring him to justice if the police didn't do it. What's going on here? Why are these people not being brought to justice? We can't tell anybody. We're paying for law enforcement. We pay with our taxpaying money. The 80 million that voted for Trump all pay too, me included. We pay for the judges. We pay their salaries, not the Chinese. They're supposed to protect the innocent. They're supposed to protect the people, the freedoms of these people, the American people. Are you telling me there's no one out there left to say enough is enough? There's none of the army? They're like, once you see a crime, you don't go and just do it? No, you gotta wait. Let's wait a little longer. Let's wait. It's almost been 10 months. And the crooks are still around the route, allowed to run around, spend money, drink the blood. what we want to know what we are supposed to do. Because sitting around waiting for someone else to wake up, especially when the wolf is loose in the hen house, doesn't seem to me to be a feasible strategy. I don't know about you, but I don't have that many hens. And if I leave the wolf in there too long, they're all going to be dead. I got a lot of patients who are people that I'm dealing with, elderly people that are, they have no choice, but they have to take this. They're being forced to take it. If they don't take it, they have to leave. They can't go to the hospital. They can't get their medicine. How long do we have to wait? So some Karen somewhere can wake up? Oh my God. Waiting for some Karen to pull her head out of her ass? What do we do? People can't complain to their politicians, they're corrupt. Can't complain to the judges, they're bought. Can't complain to the papers, they laugh at us. They're owned by the same people that buy the others. Or the schools, they're run by Karens. Social media, it's closed or shut down to anybody that wants to talk about anything that they don't want talked about. Internet, censored. Police, good luck with that. They're defunded and vilified. In most places, controlled by Beetlejuice-looking mayors. Everywhere in the world, millions are protesting. We sit in our houses and watch on Telegram the reports. We had our country stolen from us. I guess we wait for the all-knowing 68 to edge up to 80%. Got to wait for that. Got to wait for that magical amount. Basically, Juan needs to come clean and admit, I'm serious now here. If they have a plan, then say so. If not, and it's in God's hand, and he finally said that in the final rounds, fine, let's just leave it at that then. People need to know. If these people controlling everything are really evil, then it's time everyone finds out. We need to know names. If the election was, taken, if that had really happened, then we need to know by who. Not this Soros, Gates, keepers, but the individuals on a local basis that did it. Why is there all this secrecy? Put them out there. Let the local people deal with their local people that does this stuff. Waiting for some central organization, international tribunal to get it all in order. If somebody in your local group stole from you, the people here in this town need to know who they are. If you know, release that information. We'll deal with it. That's righteous. Now just let them keep doing what they're doing. They can just go on and spend the money and have fun, live their life. We're waiting for a few more people to wake up. This waiting shit is getting old. People need to know. If these people controlling everything are really evil, it's time for if it's really good against evil, if it's us, hopefully good, that are watching this, are good, or wanting at least good in their life, for their children, for their family, for the innocent, then it's us against them. And if it isn't, then we might as well just shut up, take our shot, and shut our mouths. No, we need to say no and get ready to fight. It's still 80 to 10, if they're even 10%. I doubt it. or like 1%. This waiting shit, like I said, is getting old. Yes, we know it's all about the kids. We know that. Okay, we've seen the evidence, at least some of the ped asses. But we see this, but we haven't seen any evidence that they've even been arrested. We see little fragments here and there and people talking about it. But if we see the crime has occurred and we've seen the evidence, then why hold back the action that should occur? Are you freaking kidding me? We have to wait and let these ghouls walk around so some poor Karen somewhere doesn't see Donald Trump as a tyrant? Heaven forbid if she sees him as a tyrant. Heaven forbid if they show the tribunals, if these things even really exist. People might rise up and hunt down these baby killers and rip them apart. Tell you what, I lost my first wife. This is true. And years later, they told me at first it was a car accident. She died on the day before she was due to deliver our child. So her and the child, our second child, died. They told me it was a car accident. I have since found out evidence that it may have been a ritual sacrifice. What do you think I will do when I find out that people that I might have trusted may have been involved in that? What do you think people are going to do when they find out that their neighbors, that their friends, that their family may have been involved in the abduction of their children or the death, poisoning of their children for ritualistic purposes, for greed? Are they going to just stand by and say, let's civilize, let's do it civilized. Let's let them, we got to try them civilly and make sure that everything is done right. Oh, can't do anything tyrannical to people that have hunted our children, that have lied, stolen, cheated us so that they could propagate a scenario out there that facilitates that kind of scenario. Well, that's too scary to think about. Let's just leave them. Let them. Shipping kids. Oh, they're shipping kids in those containers. Flying them from the border to places like Tennessee in private jets. Undocumented. Oh, it's okay. We got this. We're letting them strike so we can catch the snake when he strikes. You snag them. You grab them. The computers will tell all. You'll catch all of the players. Got to take our time. Sleeping sheeple haven't woke up yet. If they haven't woke up by now, in my opinion, they never will. Well, sports fans, that was my report for today. Blow by blow commentary by the spiritual guy himself, spiritual therapies with Peter and Anna Cola. Maybe one of these days you'll see Anna again. She shows up once in a while in a video once. Dance in front of 10,000 people, 100,000 people in Amsterdam, but you can't get on the TV here and talk. I'll get her on there. You wait and see. It's coming. Mark my word. Anyway, I'm going to close with a little spiritual therapeutic. We do have to realize that if it really is good against evil. If you believe that God could orchestrate such a miraculous apocalyptic illumination of what's been going on for thousands of, if not millennia, hundreds, thousands of years. And finally, this stuff is coming out into the open, that DUMBs really exist, and that there are societies out there that they try to rule the world by pitting people against people in order to control the masses. And evidence rolls finally being illuminated that the same people orchestrated and profited from many, if not all, of the wars and conflicts of the world. And that this stuff that we're being told we have is just a lie. That's things that we are being attacked with. And then we are coerced into believing that we have this stuff. So we literally talk ourselves into being sick. When we realize that there's malevolence there, and there is a battle between good and evil, and this battle must take place in order for all the players not only to pick a side, but to expose themselves in the battle so that God, us, the fighters, can catch them all and remove them once and for all. Okay, so maybe, yeah, maybe that is why we're, and my good friend, I've not yet to meet him, but through David Nino Rodriguez, my buddy who's fighting the front line, trying to get information out of the 107. And 107 is a showman. He's friends with Jim Caviezel and Mel Gibson, these people and these generals. And if they are producing this movie that we are watching and to a degree living, you can't give away the plot too much. You can't give away the show, because you don't want to tell what's going to happen in the final Endgames movie before it comes out, because you don't want to spoil it. Everybody's has to get to watch. Otherwise, people won't watch it. They won't use to watch it. They know what's going to happen. No, you got to let them experience it. So, my dear friends, rise in our awareness. Take in the truths. Observe what's going on. And you see there aren't cars parked in front of a White House on the lawn. That can't be the White House. And if it's not the White House, then what is it? A stage. It's a movie. What else is going on? They lied about the numbers, about the comorbid. Why? It's a movie. There might be a lot of these, might be just placebos. Why? Movie. This is a battle between good and evil that's going on, in the micro, in our very bodies. There's a fight in our own bodies, in our families, in the medio, in our close communities, for souls of people, for groups to be good or to go down a road of evil. And in the macro, in the spiritual realm, for the souls of people all over the world, so that they all can decide, do I want to follow God? Or am I going down the team of darkness? And I'm going to fight on their side because I have to, because I drank the baby blood. Hey, your choice. Taking this or not is not going to make you not get into heaven. Unless you say, I know the risks, I know how dark this is, but I want to travel, I want to party, I want my paycheck. So yes, I'll take it. Will that stop you from getting in heaven? No. But it will. It might cause you to suffer here on earth. But if you rise above and see this, wait a minute, this stuff is all the same. It's a movie. You create in your own universe, the universe of Peter Cola. It can't harm me. This stuff can't harm me. It's a battle between good and evil. God will win. Thank God I'm on his team. So what do I need to do? Share truths with others so that they can join the team. Share truths. That's all this, that's the only reason I wrote these books. Treating patients one-on-one for 35 years and having to reteach people over and over and over that you got to treat the causes and not just the effects. So I wrote about it. For the first 3 years I had this book, I wrote it, self-published. I gave them away because nobody bought one. One copy. Even when I published it for free on my website, nobody downloaded it. And then finally, Nino Rodriguez comes into my life. And he's like, hey, I want to hear what you have to say. I'm sharing truths. Truths. This happened to other people. What happened to them when they put godly truths into their health? How they got better, healed, walked away from cancer, walked away from autism. Children suddenly get better. Addictions, afflictions. Being told in my own personal life, I had to have a complete shoulder replacement. And realizing the spiritual side of this caused it to leave. And my shoulder got better. Literally overnight. No problems at all. That's with me. People with allergies. People with seemingly inoperable issues. When they realize the spiritual side of it and they drive away the curse, their body then heals. It's truths. Go find your truths. People tell you things like David he's not doing it to get popular. He's already popular. He's not doing it to get rich. He's already rich. He's doing it because it's right. He's telling this stuff. I'm trying to share this stuff, what I've seen. And so people can see it for themselves. Check it out for yourself. And then pass that information on to another. The only difference between someone who is healed and who becomes a healer is experience. The oldest maesters in the old days, a person was a maester in the old country through experience. They knew how to treat illnesses because they lived through it, through experience. I get therapists who come to me for jobs, they come right out of school. I don't really want to hire these guys because they've learned everything in the book. And then you go in and you bring them out there and you set them in the workplace and you walk up, you bring them an amputation patient. Okay, you work on this guy. And I don't know what to do. Well, did you learn this in school? Well, I know what it is. I don't know what to do. Doesn't mean you had to have an amputation, but so you teach them. I become the teacher and I teach them what to do. Okay, this is what you do with this guy. Okay. And then once they've worked with a few, now they get experience. It takes like 10 years to gather enough experience in working all these different scenarios, all these different types of patients, all these different people, to work with a lot of different, it takes experiences. So when you learn your truths and you realize, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense about Air Force Ones. That doesn't make sense about, and you look into it and then pass it on to someone else. Experience. Now you become a truther. That's what we need. We need every truther out there to be spreading the word, spreading truths. Because with every truth, a little piece of the universe gets illuminated. Apocalypse, illumination. And that little corner, your little universe, becomes illuminated. And it's one less place for darkness to flee. And before you know it, it's running out of places. And all that's left is those little evil, little few percentages that are left that want to control everything. And then heaven help them when the crowd realizes that they were the ones that have been taking their babies, taking their blood of their torturing children, abusing innocent people, stealing from your grandparents, your parents, enslaving people. For what? To bury gold, and they don't even spend it, they just bury it in the yard. So what do you think is going to happen when people, when the masses find out that the guy on the street, up on the corner up there in the top of the mountain, is the guy that's been doing that to their children, at least from in their community? Heaven help them. Yeah, heaven help them. I hope that you guys like this video. I hope that you share this video. Please share it. I hope you go and watch other videos of mine on spiritual therapies with Peter and Anna Cola. We have a Telegram, which is Gems of Health and Wellness Telegram. I'll have the link below. Also, we have you're free to join us. Anna has her own Telegram site, which she shares a lot of information. She's an information guru. She's also part of Nino's Insiders. That's Anna's working very closely in that. So if you want to join the Nino's Insiders, I would suggest you join that group. That is quite a group of patriots that are trying to help each other free themselves of these economical constraints that have been put on by foreign countries. So they look to see what kind of help that they can do, helping each other, helping our homegrown products, and see if we get that somehow facilitated. You might get to talk to her. Yeah. and probably get to talk to her about women's empowerment and some of the other things that she is so good at teaching, my wife. Anyways, like I said, if you want to support us, we do have a GoFundMe is below too. We are trying to open up our office back up so we can treat people. Of course, it's hard to treat people with insurance when insurances deny it because I treat to the cause, so they won't pay. So we end up treating for free, which I had done when I had an office, closed it in 2012, 2013. But I want to open it back up. And it means people will be coming to see us. Some of them can pay, some of them can't. We'd like to open that office back up. So we're doing a GoFundMe, a place where people can come for mind, body, and spiritual therapies. You know, again, Quantum Ascension is available on Amazon, and Heal Yourself for God's Sake is available on Amazon. That's get a little bit of support by people buying the books. You can also email if you want to do a direct consultation. I do consultations. I do public speakings. I do seminars. And I talk about these procedures. I even do clergy. I've done spoken in churches. You can contact me and I will talk to you about it. And if you want to do a direct session, you can contact me. Email me is the best way. Posture, POSTURE dot everything, EVERYTHING @gmail.com. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me. You can also look at our blog, paulourpeter.com, where I posted hundreds of these articles and many of the chapters of the books. And you can download that stuff. We have contact information on that site, so you can contact me directly and send your questions. I answer all my emails that I can and I can find. And if it's too complex for just a simple answer on an email, then possibly schedule a direct consultation. No problem. I treated a lot of people in the past, thousands. I can treat a few more. Anyways, for now, bless you, and I will talk to you the next time. And please give a big thumbs up to my buddy Nino. He's doing a great job. He's trying hard. Support his channel if you can. And Nicholas Benjamin, who's now interviewed me, and I'm going to be soon on Charlie Ward, soon to be on Prime Minister coming up next week. So we've got a few things to do, irons in the fire. Yeah, that's about it for today. Take care and bless you.